Good morning. Time for episode 2 of the Depression Podcast. As you guys are aware, I went since Monday morning after Dallas and the stupid Charizard fat overrated lizard one. To today, I haven't had any use of social media besides looking at Reddit because, I don't know, I don't really classify Reddit as like a social media platform because it's more like anonymous, and I just use it to look at random finance kids, which is funny and interesting to me. On top of that as well, I deleted it as soon as I knew that Dan was going to be able to edit all the videos for me, had access to everything, and a massive thank you as always goes to Dan. Now, the weeks started off pretty hard. As people are aware, it's in my last video, I don't like my job. And I decided to make a really, really tough decision that I'm going to have to live with for the next couple of months. I got a better job offer, pay-wise, but not hours-wise. It's more reputation, you name it, than my current job. But it would mean not being full-time and going back casual. Yeah, theoretically I could ram up my hours at either end, and yeah. But I ultimately decided to listen to one of my best friends when it came to advice, and the nature that it was going to be casual was the sticking point. And I think within a moment, well, probably a shift at my new place, I absolutely regretted staying there. But I wanted to say that when that does happen, I've only been there 3 weeks at my new job. And I don't know what it's like for most people, but for me, I was very, very well, ingrained in a lot of things. So, for example, I've been in the Mons community 3 years. I can pretty much say whatever I want, and then still bop random kids. It's all fun and games. Oh, probably not in the UBLD league. I think that was a fun experiment that we should never discuss again. That was funny. I got snot every pick. Oh, that was funny though. But I was just a bad player. That's all we can say, really. And then we had, we had work, my old job, which I'm still currently working. I was there for 3 years. I got along really well with a lot of the people there. I got to the stage in the last sort of 6 months that I could do what I sort of wanted there. There's nearly times where they just said, rock up when you want to rock up, go home when you want to go home, and provided you stay within the hours you can do in a week, we'll pay you for that. And it was pretty cool. And I have a really good support network, and it's actually the thing I'm going to talk about today the most, is my support network. For those of you who've never heard the term support network, I was first introduced to it when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, and I went into the first counselling sessions I had for, ironically, many people know me, I don't get angry very easily. Oh, I fucking missed a rock slide. Oh, fuck, I missed. And especially in that last video, I never swore or anything. Very wholesome Christian values. But the reason I want to talk about a support network today is because even though I deleted everything, there are still people I know that I can actively rely on through shooting them a text message on little things like, oh, yo, I think I've made a mistake. Yo, what do you think I should do? And even some of my friends, I don't even have to do that. They message me. And that to me is insane, that they would want to be, want to be my friend, even though, I shun everything. And, it's the most old-fashioned mentality. Send me a text message. I think if we went any further, we'd start sending emails to one another. Hello there, my name... Actually, oh no, we can't say that. I already sent some people some emails. Daniki's one of them, because he has to edit everything. And when you stop focusing so much on social media, I've noticed that my relationships with other people have improved. For example, even me and my parents are now talking more, and there's more about me, so I'm actually doing things with my day. I'm not, playing, I'll say World of Warcraft, we all know it's Birb playing Pokemon Showdown, trying to break the meta, only to, humorously fail multiple times, because unfortunately, I still don't know that G-Max Pokemon are not allowed in singles. Discrimination. But on top of that as well, it is hard to talk to people when all you do is get consumed in the life of being social. because it doesn't mean to me that I've accomplished much in my day. And, you know, obviously you can be social, but unfortunately sitting on a computer screen all day trying to be quote-unquote social is not the exact same thing. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some things where, you know, over smaller sample sizes, I'd say, yeah, it's definitely a good thing to do. But, you know, it is hard when you want to do it generally. Like, why should I be at my computer screen? Unless it's at work, I don't really care. At home, I get home and watch a couple episodes of Netflix, you know, because I'm not watching YouTube anymore because that's another social media. As I said, there's a few times where I've accidentally clicked on a video and I'm like, oh, I cannot watch that. It is on YouTube. Follows the link. Go back to basics. You know, I recently been binging a few Netflix shows. One of the ones I binge watch is Shameless. I absolutely love it. The reason why I love Shameless so much is because in the early seasons, at least, Lip Gallagher reminded me a lot of myself, and I saw myself in that character. On top of that as well, I think I binge watched The End of the Effing World a little bit. I'm going to get back into it. Another show I binge watched recently. I watched Riverdale, because Riverdale's always a good meme. You know, the plot line that makes about as much sense as my dating life. Actually, no, my dating life's pretty much a straight line. Actually, some would say, and I have a negative association with women when it comes to my dating life. Like, every girl I try to, like, date, I, like, lose 20 points. But, you know, ultimately, me and my parents have been talking more, and it's been a great sense of freedom that way. Then the second group of people, let's go through it, alright? They're my Pokemon friends that have been messaging me out of the blue. A lot of my old work colleagues, I don't really text with them because I don't catch up like that. They're all social with one another, but I'm sort of like the fly on the wall, if that makes sense. Please take my shift, but don't come out for drinks. So, but, you know, bingo bango, whatever it is, I don't really care. But what I really enjoy is, like, yesterday at my other old job, you know, every time I'm like, oh, I really just like my new job, they're all really positive about it. And there's one lady in particular, and she's really, really positive all the time, right? Like, you can't joke with her. Like, if you tell her you're having a bad day is like one of the funny jokes, like I love to tell, she just doesn't accept that. And the reason for that is because she just always wants to be positive and seeing the best in people. And it's really inspiring when you think about it. And she was like telling me about like my new job and like how she's had previous interactions before with it, and she didn't really understand it until people like really made it obvious to her. I thought that's really interesting to think about, that people don't see it that way. And it was sort of good in that feeling. So I'm really helping people. But then I had 2 clients not show up. And I was like, dang, I thought I could help these people really well. On top of that, the next sort of stage is, well, there's the Pokemon people. And the Pokemon people, there's no particular order, but it just is like done by date. So like when I sent them a message or when they like reached out. So first it was the goat and dog, because dog's the goat when it comes to like job advice. It just is, and just general life. Don't be a pussy. You know, you hit all your lovely kisses, you know. Oh, dang, that's another great I say shit idea now. You miss all the lovely kisses you don't go for. Dang, why do I think that one now? I've got too many options. Oh, I just need a good meme shirt. Yeah, but definitely one of the goats. Jimmy Ferruggio, or the Hungry Heracross, if you haven't checked out his content, definitely do. He's another one of the goats. Always very positive person. It is really a great reflection upon one of the earlier stories when I was going into high school was about, which was talking about the dog that goes into the House of Mirrors. And, you know, for years, all these dogs say, oh, we went into the House of Mirrors, it's haunted. We went in there all sad and scared. We saw 1,000 scared of other people, other dogs. I say people. People aren't dogs. Dogs aren't people. But dog is a god. But the next thing they said was, well, this little happy little dog went in there and he went up in the stairs with his tail wagging, and he saw 1,000 happy dogs. The house isn't haunted. It's just a great showcase of perspective. And Jimmy's really helping me like understand work-life balance is going to be key to get through this. You know, we're 3 weeks in. If I don't know what I'm thinking at the moment in terms of how long duration-wise, but, you know, every week I complete, I'm a week longer than I think I was going to quit. And I think I just need to keep taking that mentality for as long as possible. And the next person as well is someone that should be no surprise, Pedonisa, aka Mastodon. Paulo is a great person when it comes to reaching out for others for help, and sometimes I feel bad that I don't reciprocate that and I don't check up enough on him frequently. And it sounds like a shit way to say it, but it's just the truth. That man goes so far out of his way to make sure people are okay that it is absolutely phenomenal. There's a bit of a funny story about yesterday. Yesterday, I was being a good little wholesome boy, Christian Minecraft YouTuber. I went to see my nan and my pop, and I bought my nan dinner early because I was like, I don't really care. We'll get dinner together and then we'll have fun stories. And on the iPhones, if you have a contact picture for someone and they start ringing, like it comes up with the contact picture, right? So like Graham Amity, right? He loves his shirtless pictures of himself everywhere. So every time Graham rings, it's like this big shirtless. Like the screensaver doesn't even change, really. It's the same picture. But when Masto rings, it's Masto, beautiful in all his glory, Marilyn Monroe style. I'm with my nan, and I'm like, one of the few times I've just answered the phone and just thought, stuff it. I would rather not let her see what the picture is. Me and Master had a great chat about like everything, and it really helped again with perspective, because he, as I said, he's definitely one of the goats in that I don't check up enough on him, but he definitely goes out of his way to check up on me, gives some amazing life advice. And those three people are a few people in a massive support network, and I know that people are probably reaching out right now. It's just not the right time for me to react, because I can imagine that like half the comments on the first video are going to be like, get a grip, Bird, you're a fucking pussy, you're a fucking bully, you know, you fucking thrive on negativity and shit like that. Because a lot of people who knew me previously, like outside of life, like people just know that like people that I went to school with would know that I love that negative energy. You say I can't do something, I want to absolutely smash you. Not physically, I could never hurt a fly, but I probably could do it maybe mentally or something like that. I just loved the chase of the reward. And I think for me at the moment, it's getting absolutely hard to start doing that, right? It's hard to enjoy the chase of the daily rat race. But having that support network, you know, is amazing. 3 people who you just know are going to be very reliable. And if people are going to be like, oh, there's definitely more, I know there's more. But I think I'm going to take this 1 week at a time. And if that influences people's desire to message me, catch up with me, it doesn't worry me at the end of the day. Because for me, I just know that support networks do exist for a lot of things, if that makes sense. Like, at the start of the year, Jimmy said to me, write a New Year's resolution, and my New Year's resolution was to be happy. That's it. That was the simplest New Year's resolution. Didn't care how much money I made, didn't care what goals I set. Like, I wouldn't rather, because I know I'd be in a worse position health-wise, but like, I'd nearly rather weigh 500 kilos and like not be able to move and be happy than weigh like 60 kilos green body and be unhappy, right? But for me, I think what I have to start doing more is just enjoying the chase. You know, I'm waking up at 5:40 in the morning and turning the alarm back on. I turn the alarm back on and go back to bed. Like, I need to start going to the gym again. I need to start eating, you know, I've been eating some of the healthiest foods I've ever done, besides like occasional grilled. It's my weak spot, right? People want to celebrate food. My mum's family's a big people. We celebrate with food. A lot of people like that, to be honest. And I, being the silly vegan I am, that doesn't eat like healthy salads or anything like that, gets very limited meal options. Stupid vegan! But it was hard. It was confronting yesterday because I saw my grandfather, and it's hard to sort of disassociate growing up versus the current condition of like, I think he's like 87 or something. He's in like 85 or 86, 87, like somewhere in that age range. I don't know exactly. I stopped paying attention. And to see him really depressed. I haven't seen my grandfather in like 3 or 4 months. I know probably not going to win grandson of the year, but I prioritize work a lot of the time. I prioritize myself, prioritize the good times I want to have. And when I ran my name to say like, look, I'm gonna go out and see him, she was like, all he wanted to do was see you come out. And it sort of reminded me how selfish I've been. Even in this depression podcast, I feel like I'm being pretty selfish. Listen to my negative thoughts about how I hate my life. Part 1 of Volume 1, 30 seconds in. But it was just a great eye-opener. He's got a bit of depression. He's got a bit of depression and also dementia setting in. Singing in the D mental condition, and I was like, oh shit, which one's worse? Dementia, you forget everything all the time. My auntie's one of the worst. She's like another one of those really happy people, and like, not you want to spite them, but just very, very good. She once said that her dream is to get dementia. I said, why is that? She goes, I don't get enough holidays. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, if I had dementia, I'd open the front door, walk back inside, and go, gosh, this house is nice. Whose is this? You tell me it's anyone's house. You tell me it's like, I would say George Bush is an American meme one, but, you know, you can tell me it's like, whoever she'd love, you know, it's Don Burke's house. He did the landscape. Don Burke used to live here. And then an hour later, you could tell her, oh, it's not Don Burke's house, it's Steve Smith's. Oh, it's not Steve Smith's house, it's Jason Talmalolo. You know, there's like, it's just like, oh, there's so many opportunities. And I think for me, the thing that I want to really establish here is I've just been selfish. I've been a cunt. I needed to hypothetically strip myself back down to absolute basics. Like today, my plan for today, because today's Australia Day. Australia Day is like Columbus Day in America, just to put some context on it. But it's a very topical issue. But the worst thing that happens on this day is the Triple J Hottest 100. Some of it say it's Invasion Day, some of it say it's Australia Day, but I don't want to debate in the comments. I have a few Aboriginal friends who say it's Invasion Day. For me, it's like, it's a public holiday. If we really want to move it, let's make Anzac Day. But then Anzac Day is not typically a day of celebration, it's a day of sorrow and remembrance. But I still think that, why not pick one of the things that absolutely united the nation? Amazing story. But I sort of really am enjoying this podcast and just trying to ramble thoughts. I also finished a passion piece of mine. So I'm thinking of starting my own blog, ironically on interest rates. Now the reason it is ironic is because I now work in an industry that has to do with interest rates. I was talking about how like 0.01% will make a difference. I don't know what it is, but the older I get, the more I wish I started saving earlier. Or the first year out of job, I just wish I wasn't a dumb fuck with money. But look, we can't expect Bird not to be a dumb fuck. He is a dumb fuck. Now, on top of that, as well, it's also really important to acknowledge that I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish this like little depression podcast. But I think I'm going to make like a weekly podcast similar to what Lewis Spears did, who's one of my favourite sort of comedians. I don't watch his weekly podcast because I just don't have time, but I like making content. I'm just trying to discuss like random things and various topics in my life. One of the big ones at the moment, and I think I'm going to touch on it because I touched on interest rates, was stocks and investing. Now, the reason for this is that this is general advice and it's just my opinion. It's not financial advice. I don't have a fucking license, so take it as this is. At my new job site, everyone fucking loves stocks. Everyone loves looking at their stocks like every 20 seconds. Some people play penny stocks. For those of you who've never heard the phrase penny stocks, if you watch Wolf of Wall Street, just know that that's how it works. We're going to triple your money, quadruple your money by buying penny stocks, selling fraud. Yep. High growth stocks normally don't pay a dividend because they want to reinvest the capital into the business. Then you have dividends, and what dividends are is that in return, it's like like an interest rate or sort. So like for your ownership of a company, you receive a certain portion of that company's profits as sort of like a good faith thing, and then from there you can choose whether or not to try to increase your ownership of the share, or alternatively you can just receive it as money. And the interesting discussion that came up at work was the whole idea of there's theoretically called bear and bull markets. When it's a bull market, it's like charging towards red flags. It's like me and when I see a girl, oh no, this is my weakness, my kryptonite. But you never shut up. Girl, he's Raj. Fuck. And then on top of that, bear markets are typically bare. There's just nothing really there. And so the ASX broke like top 300, which was very good. Very good for Bird Investments stonk advice, because my major holding is just an index fund. I think Australia does well. Happy with Australia. Yee, yippee-ki-yay, Australia. Which means that I'm happy with just investing in Australia for the moment. I do have plans later on just to do whatever I want. But in saying that, and what my main finding out of my interest rate piece I wrote was I was looking at what would be the cost of waiting hypothetically if you waited 5 years, doubled your contributions, then started now. What would be like the disparity? And I found out that it's like a couple of grand, which it was only like 25 grand in total personal contribution. And I used various different tools to calculate it. Maybe the next one should be stocks, but it was just interesting because one of the other goals I had this year was to invest. I love investing. I love the fucking sport of it. I love just chucking money in and just go, fuck this. I'm not into gambling yet, which is really ironic to a lot of people, because a lot of people in my work just know I love fucking gamble. Not as much as like playing Pokemon. Like Pokemon to me is my gambling. It's like, yes. Or when I go to the casino with the great J. It's a great day for it all. That's another fun place in the casino. But the reason I sort of love looking at it is it's been positive, so it's been very easy to look at. And the way that my pay is structured, I like to sort of keep myself accountable, Excel spreadsheets. It's been going well, but you get to a stage where you just don't know how to feel anymore. And yesterday, as I said, I grabbed lunch with my nan. I grabbed dinner with my nan. Sorry, it was like early bird pensioner thing, right? And she was really insistent on pay. And to put it in perspective of yesterday, I drove out to my nan's, and I'm now getting to the stage now, I only want to put the minimal amount of petrol in the car that I need in the car, because I could do a lot more with that other money, whether it's investing, whether it's whatever I want to do, right? Now, I just spent money to go get petrol, like $20, because it was actually an alright price. It was like 1.3, good job. And then, on top of that, bought dinner, and she was really insistent. I was like, no, that's fine. Same as the other night, my mum wanted dinner, grabbed dinner. She's like, oh, can I pay you back? I was like, no. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I got to start spending money again to be happy. But I think for me, it's just trying to find those experiences again. I don't do a lot of things that I enjoy. I don't know. It's purely because like I probably am reading too much Mr. Money Mustache. One of those people. And if you spend $1 today, over 10 years it could have been $1 million. Like, trust me, there's some weird things in there like that you'll find. Don't quote that statistic though. As I said, this is just general advice, and it could be hyperbole. Now, for me, the next big expense that's going to come up is probably a bit of shares, because I want to buy some more shares. I don't think I'll ever start doing portfolio videos like the Joseph Carlson show would at the moment. When I get a little bit more capital, I might. But I'm very, very vanilla. I'm just like, alright, I'm just going to buy index funds because Warren Buffett says buy index funds. And I like Warren Buffett. I think he's very good. I think him, Charlie Munger, Peter Lynch, goats, right? Now, in saying that, the IC is coming up next. And the IC is going to be a fun time because the people that are going there are going to make it a fun time. And I might not be speaking to them in like 3 or 4 weeks, but that's going to be great as well. People are going to have to tell me new things about them. Some of my favourite people are going to go. On top of that as well, it's really, really important to acknowledge but I'm gonna have fun going. I don't know why my laptop charger isn't working. Maybe I just worn it out, but anyway, I'll fix it up later. And to me, that's just another opportunity to just, you know, have some fun down there. I'm probably only going to play Mons for like a week or 2 weeks, I don't know. I've really enjoyed not playing Pokemon recently, but the Great Master nearly brought me back to the light of playing with him, because he's very, very wholesome. And it's very hard to say no to the Great Padonism. It's also been good as well, like, just living in the moment. Like, I've been playing lots of Solitaire and Free Cell, learning how to play those games now. I wouldn't say I'm an expert at Solitaire, but I definitely am learning a lot of the tricks to it. Free Cell's the new game I'm trying to learn. Free Cell is a bitch to learn. For those of you who don't remember Free Cell and like playing on Mum's computer, can I play on the computer? Oh son, got your iPad. No, that wasn't me growing up. It was, Mum, can I please play on the family computer? No, Mum's working. Go eat dirt. Yes, dirt eating time. So yeah, what else is what I've been doing? Bit of chess, I love my chess. Been missing watching chess videos to try to learn how to improve. My main chess account there that I normally play on, I can't access because I deleted my Facebook. I tried to use my Google Plus thing to sign in, I can't use that either, so I decided I knew a chess account. So I'm getting bodied, because it starts like 1,000, I'm like a 900 chess player, because I'm shit at the game of chess. That's always good to see. And there's not really too much else to really talk about. Today, I'm just going to do a lot of cleaning. My room's an absolute mess. I'm a mess. Just know that I probably should do better with that. So I probably want to get more into doing some cleaning up. So, yeah. And then probably tomorrow, the goal of tomorrow is going to be to cook good, yummy food for the whole week. Have a really good week. And until next week, the next week will definitely be a bit more interesting one. But until then, peace.